Well, good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Kentucky. Squeaky here. We're going to do a power steering flush and drain, and change my filter and all that good stuff. Yeah, my voice has been shot it's been 2 months since I had a cold, and I still ain't got my voice back. I hope to get it back one of these days. But anyways, in my service manual it says to change the power steering fluid at 50,000 miles. And I have a W24 WorkHorse chassis, which has called the Max Boost braking system, which it gets its power assist from our power steering pump. And where the fluid flows through, it also goes through this tank, which you may or may not know, inside this tank is your power steering filter. That also needs to be changed. But you know, over time I've always checked the fluid, and whenever I did, it always looked nice and clean. I said, "Well, all looks good, no rush." So, but it's 60,000. I figure it's time. So I took the cap off, and that's the thing. When you go to take this cap off, and it's windy today, you loosen this clamp, but you want to clean this off very, very well before you do, because when you lift that cap, you do not want to risk dropping any dust in that tank, because I believe if you do, that will be it would be non-filtered. A speck of dust would go right down the suction line right into your pump. So be very careful about that. It's very easy to get to. Loosen the clamp, this cap comes off, and you get to the filter. But let me show you this, because that's why I took the cap off. I dipped a little oil out of it just to look at it, and note the difference. See, on the dipstick it looked like nice clean oil, but that's when you actually put it in a cup, that's what it looks like. Compared to new power steering fluid, that's what it looks like. So that's what 60,000 miles and 13 years of power steering fluid. So I'm sure it's well past a change. And another thing it's kind of strange to me, someone probably knows, is why it turns so black, power steering fluid. It's not like an engine where it's exposed to combustion and fuel and other items. But anyway, it is dirty. And here's the power steering fluid I chose. And I'll talk about that in a minute, because there's a certain specification that WorkHorse wants you to put back in here. And I'm going to go inside now where it's a little bit quieter out of this wind. Okay, I'm in the RV now, a lot quieter in here with all that wind blowing today. I'll talk about because I want to do this project, never done it before, and I was trying to figure out, what kind of filter to get, and I read there on the forum somewhere a person used a WIX filter, and I've got it right over here. Here's a goofy looking thing. Well, that's the box. There it is. Pull the cap off. See what this strange filter is. So the way it works, I believe, I got a schematic here from somewhere, from Brazzles. Here it is. So you can see how that tank is and see where the filter sits. Well, the way I believe this works is your pressure comes up through the bottom, and then it flows out the top. Because I took the cap off and I ran it, I could see the way the oil was circulating. So that's what I was talking about before. If you drop a speck of dirt down into this tank and this reservoir, I'm afraid it'll go into the suction line. I'll confirm that better once I actually get it apart. And also, to get this off, you need one of these little metal caps. But before I got started in this project, I wanted to find out for sure what kind of oil to use, because of course I got my repair manual out, reading about it, and of course, like a lot of things in these service manuals, it's confusing and they contradict each other. So in this section, see, I'm at the 2010 W Series chassis, WorkHorse chassis, and it plainly states power steering system uses Dextron specification transmission fluid. Okay, that's okay, but that's when I took the cap off, it didn't look red. I expected to see red. It wasn't red. So when you read on, then you find other information. Okay, I was reading about the brakes, still on the W Series chassis, because we have it's called the Hydro Max. Some people refer to it as Hydro Boost, but I think the Hydro Max, we have the Hydro Max in the W24 series because it has the electric backup in case the engine dies, the power steering is not working, the power steering pump is no longer pumping fluid. This little electric motor will engage and do the job for us. But here it talks about to use yeah, there it is. It only uses power steering fluid. So same manual, one says transmission fluid, one says power steering fluid. So I called John at Brazel's, and he said they use power steering fluid. So that's good enough for me. I'm using power steering fluid. So a little further reading, once I got that, I said, okay, what kind of power steering fluid? Is it all the same? Well, I don't know. So that's where I came across the recommended fluids, and it talks about using the power steering system, this particular spec. And I got to Googling around, and like not all power steering fluids meet that spec, evidently. I did find this at Advanced. It's power steering fluid by Valvoline, and it plainly states on the back that it does have that GM spec on it that we're looking for. Yeah, that 105 0017, just like the book says. Don't know how critical that is, but I'm just trying to do it right. So I got that part done. Where else do we go? Okay, we got the filter, that part, and right there's the Valvoline information. I pulled it up off the internet, where it tells me exactly that it does meet that specification. So that's how I knew how to get this particular oil. And so now, I guess I'll go out there and start taking hoses and lines apart. And I was, it talks about here, I want to do it a little bit differently because I really want to get all this old oil out as much as I can. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But in the instructions here, it talks about taking the line loose at the gearbox. But I figured, they want you to start the engine and run it for just like 10 seconds. There it is, start it run for about 10 seconds. But that kind of concerns me, if that, the power steering pump, if that thing goes out, it's like $800. And the steering box itself is like $3,000. So these are some expensive components. So I could see it's wise to keep the oil clean and changed in it. So, but I figured if I took that upper and lower line loose, that's really going to make a mess. So I'll show you what I'm going to do just a little bit differently to try to get the most of the oil out of the system. So I guess I'll head back outside. It's getting hot in here. Okay, just like everything, I got to know how it works. So I got to following the lines and figuring out how the oil flows and what's going on. This line here, the small line, this is coming from the power steering pump. So this is under pressure. No, wait a minute, I think I'm coming from the top of the gearbox. I'll have to crawl over there and see again. Where's that go? Yeah, that does. Pardon me. This comes from off the gearbox. It comes into the max boost. This comes out, and this flows right into the bottom of our tank. Then we've got a suction line. All right, so I'm gonna crawl underneath to show you where the suction line goes. Okay, underneath we are. There we go. Okay, so there's the suction line. So it gets sucked into our power steering pump. Okay, and there's the pressure going out. And that goes out. I gotta go back up on the outside again. Alright, let's do that. So when it leaves, it comes in under pressure into the top of our steering box and comes out. And when it leaves the bottom of the gearing box, this is where it goes up into the max boost. I'll show you that again. So, yeah, this line right here is coming off of our power steering box under pressure. Also, I noticed, because I want the oil to be warm when I change it. So I started up, let it idle, and just let it idle all day. It won't get warm because it's not being used. So I found that if we hold the brake down, it gets the oil pumping really quick, and that'll warm it up. So, and something else I've done, I've already loosened up some fittings, because my goal is I want to drop this line, because that's the pressure line. I can feed it down low into a pan, so it'll drain, because I'm leaving all that tight. But when I crawl under here, okay, I've already loosened up. I've already loosened up this nut, because this is the suction line off the bottom of the tank. And I forget what size it was. I think I just used a large adjustable wrench. And then I also loosened up this line, because this is the one that goes up to the gearbox under pressure. So I'm going to take both these lines loose, let them hang, let them drain out, get a pan in here to catch them, so I get most all the oil out of it. Also, on the bottom of your gearbox, you got this Allen head screw that comes loose and drains the oil out of the gearbox. So I guess I'll go up there and start it up and let the oil start warming up. You see what I've done here? I got the engine running. I got me a piece of PVC pipe holding the brake pedal down up against the seat. So now the oil is flowing. So the oil is coming up into this pipe. I can already feel it getting a little warm. It's coming out and going into the oil reservoir. And actually you take the top off, and you can use it to get in there. You can see it swirling. Okay, now you can see the oil swirling real good. You got to push the brake pedal down a good distance. I guess the farther you push it, the more oil. The oil's being pumped really well. It won't take long to warm it up. Let me tell you, that oil gets hot quick. Check this out. I didn't realize it'd get that hot. There's 138. Yeah, there's 143. So yeah, I'd say that's plenty warm. So I'll shut the engine off and undo some lines and let this oil drain out. See, quite a bit of oil is just coming out of that gearbox. It's amazing how much it holds. I bought a gallon of power steering fluid. I hope I got enough. I don't know if I did it. Tell you the truth, I may have to get another gallon. And there's what the bolt looks like. Get that thing out. So that's a drain in, and I'll take some more hoses loose. So you can see if you move the wheel, leave the key on, move the wheel, it's hard to do it with one hand, well, you'll get squirts of oil, more of it will come out. Get most of it out this way. See what this filter looks like. It's got a lot of threads, that's for sure. Here it is. Ta-da! Filter is out. We'll compare it to the new one. Okay, you get the filter down in there. That's how it sits. You can see the suction line on the other side. So if you drop a speck of dirt in there, that'd be a bad day. Suck it right into the pump. Take it out here. There she is. Nice and empty. Now let's look at these filters. They are slightly different. This is a WIX 57191. This is the factory filter. It came out in it. And because I noticed the filter tool that removes fits this one, will not fit that one. It took a larger size. Don't know if this thing has a size on it or not. I don't see a number. But that's what it takes to get it off. But it's a slightly larger diameter, evidently. I mean, just a hair. But it does cross over to it. And this is the original filter, and there's the original numbers. We can see them. S416. Is that a 11? There's a T1808. Don't know who made the original one, but that's the WIX. But it is slightly different, but the bottoms and everything else looks the same. See the anti-drain back valve. So we should be good to go with this, even though it is a slightly smaller filter. Something to keep in mind. Okay, I did find out something. There's really no need to remove these two lines, because most all the oil comes out from that set screw. That set screw right there. I got a whole bunch of oil out of it. Taking out these two lines, only got just a little bit of oil, not much at all. So I'll put those lines back on and fill up the reservoir. And then I'm going to open up that Allen head screw, try to bleed out the air, and see how it goes. All right, let me have a picture of what I'm doing. I filled the container up with new power steering fluid, and then I undid, of course I put all the lines back on now, but I undid the Allen head screw, letting it drain a little bit. I can see here I'm catching clean new oil. Yep. And I took the steering wheel and ran it back and forth 2 or 3 times because I want to make sure that this oil is flowing through the system and let out, because I don't want to start that pump dry. So I think we're getting close. Okay, I'm in the RV, and what I've done, because I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm just trying to figure it out. I've ran the steering wheel back and forth several times, thinking that will help purge any air out. I am feeling some resistance, and I remember talking to a place that rebuilds these pumps and stuff and got their opinion. They said once you start it, to run the steering wheel back and forth maybe 20 times and then hit the brake at the end of each stop to purge out all the air. So let's start it up and see how it goes. All right. Hitting the brake, turning. Hitting the brake again. Take it all the way to the end, hit the brake. And they said have the wheels off the ground when you do this. Of course the wheels are off the ground. Hit the brake. Brake pedal feels good. Everything's kind of feeling normal now. And I'm not hearing any weird noises or whining. They said do this about 20 times, so I'll just keep doing this for about 20 times and see if it'll take care of it. Okay, you can see down there, you see the oil flowing. You see how empty it was? I had the tank almost full. So on that initial startup, it really pumps out a lot. So you want to fill that tank nearly full on the first startup, and because I don't know if a gallon's going to be enough, so I'm going to finish adding what I have. Okay, well, it's all complete now. I just got to put my clamp ring on and tidy up my tools. But I was just going to do a recap of kind of what I learned from this. So now that I've done it, and if I do it again, 40,000 miles from now, I think the next time I won't need to take those lines loose. I was amazed at how much oil, just by taking loose the Allen screw. Maybe you can see it now. Where'd she go? Yeah, well, there it is. Just by taking that Allen head screw loose from the power steering box, how much oil came out of it. Almost all of it did. I guess it creates a siphon effect. It really surprised me because the way the suction line and stuff is. Let me get under here. Let me get here. Okay, because here's the Allen head. I took that out, and you guys see this is the suction line. It's going up into the bottom of the tank. So there's so much oil, so much volume, I guess, in the screw boxes. It's coming down. It's creating enough suction. It is drawing that oil, all the way straight through the pump. It's going through the pump. It's sucking up through this line, because this line goes up on top of the steering box. This line here. Oh, here's something to keep a watch on. W24s are prone for this line to vibrate on these brake lines and wear a hole through them. So check yours. I put that on there years ago. It was metal on metal rubbing. So keep an eye on that. But I was amazed at how much oil it just siphoned out, and so next time there's really no need to take these lines off. I was just trying to get a really thorough drain, and little did I know, taking that little screw out of the bottom got so much oil out of it. Okay, let me get back out. And I was wanting to, of course, the oil filter was slightly different, but this WIX seems to be working just fine. I would recommend, I don't know what size these things are called, but this a little bit smaller one fit the WIX version. that number. But the original one, it takes a little bit larger size. And I would recommend, if you buy one of these, don't get a plastic one, because they kind of get wedged on there and you can't get the things off. They're kind of a pain. The metal ones don't seem to do that. So because once you screw that down in that tank, it's kind of difficult to get a hold of. And I wouldn't want to use a strap, in case you risk getting debris in that reservoir, and it's going to go suck right down into the pump. So you want to make sure whatever tools you're using, they're really clean and there's no dirt, dust, or anything on there. And oh yeah, I was going to show you. I just got I only got just a little bit of oil left, so I used almost a full gallon. So all in all, that was a pretty easy job to do. Took a little bit of a learning curve to get it figured out, but I think it's a good thing to do. These RVs are getting older every day. We've got to take care of them. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.